bringing local ingredients into the kitchen. Lincolnshire Co-op sponsors the Lincolnshire Kitchen.
Hello and welcome to a special Christmas edition of the Lincolnshire Kitchen, the show that celebrates the very best of locally grown food and produce. I'll be meeting some of the growers and farmers from across the county and taking a closer look at why local really is best. Great food is at the heart of every festive celebration, bringing together friends and families around the table. And today, I'm going to be cooking the traditional Christmas dinner. I went out to meet some of the Lincolnshire farmers behind one of our most popular dishes of the year. Robert, tell me exactly what you do here.
On this site we pack and sort and grade onions, shallots and garlic for the major supermarkets. We grow red onions, we grow brown onions, we grow pickling onions, we grow shallots, banana shallots, scallions as well. So yeah, the whole range.
How many tonnes of onions do you produce a year?
We produce around about 75 to 80,000 tonnes a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's actually happening here?
In this area we're packing into the nets, so the inline onions that you'll be familiar with on the supermarket shelves. That's what comes out of this area here.
How often do you harvest the onions then? Is it all the time or?
No, it comes as a surprise to some people that actually we harvest between July and probably October. August and September is really where it's concentrated. And then they're stored for the rest of the year and we call off that store all the way through until June.
Isn't it amazing how onions and garlic and shallots come synonymous with every sort of recipe that you pick up?
Yeah, you'd have a job to find a recipe that doesn't start with chop an onion and fried up.
Yeah,
so,
which is pretty good for your business.
Yeah, we like to think so.
Yeah. Are these the ones I'm going to have then?
These are the ones.
I'm going to stuff them and roast them alongside the turkey.
That sounds fantastic.
25% of the UK's onions come out of this factory. Isn't that amazing? Well, we're here with the turkeys, obviously. Now, Stella, you look after them on a day-to-day basis, don't you?
Yes.
How many turkeys do you have here?
At the moment we have 125 young ones which will be for Christmas, and we have 28 breeding stock.
The turkeys are obviously very happy here, and happy turkeys make healthy turkeys, and they're obviously very free to roam around here in the orchard. You get your poults in quite early, don't you?
Our turkeys hatch in April, May, and then they spend about 10 days under heated rings. When they're about 6 weeks old, they come out into the paddock. Our birds are normally slaughtered around the 5th of December, so they'll be 8 months old by that time, and because of that they'll have a much richer flavour, slightly more gamey in the feel.
How's the slaughter done here, Stella?
Do that, they're very individually. Each bird is handled on its own, away from other birds. You don't see the other one being killed.
And do you hand pluck them all?
We pluck 95% of them by hand.
So they're not wet plucked?
No, they're dry plucked. And then when we pluck them, They are weighed, and then we hang them into a chiller area.
Yes.
And they're left there for 7-8 days.
And that again intensifies the flavour,
It
doesn't
gives
it?
them a lot more flavour.
The turkeys are actually a credit to you, and I'm sure you'd agree with that, Carl. Should we have a walk and see if they'll follow us?
Rachel, here's one of the tastiest birds on the farm. It's a Norfolk blackhead.
Thank you so much. It's really nice to meet you. Thanks, Carl. Take care. You know, how an animal is reared makes a real difference, not just to the way you feel about it when you eat it, but to the taste and the flavour of it. So I'm going to enjoy eating that bird this Christmas because I know it's had a happy life. You know what? Here's the next ingredient. Richard, tell me what goes on here on the farm.
Okay, well we're mainly a brassica business based in Lincolnshire. We do about 9,000 acres of brassicas in general. We grow about 1,000 acres of sprouts and then cauliflower, broccoli and cabbage.
And how many do you actually produce of Brussels sprouts? I mean, how many different varieties are there and how much do you produce, especially around Christmas time?
Well, we, in terms of varieties, we grow about 30 varieties of sprouts in total. We do about 1,000 tonnes in Christmas week.
So what's the normal tonnage then in a normal week?
About 120, so we sort of do 10 times Christmas week.
That is an awful lot of sprouts, isn't it?
It is.
It certainly is. And why do you grow so many different varieties?
Well, with sprouts we plant them all in May, and the main difference between the varieties is they come at different times of year. There are slight differences in terms of flavour, but the main difference is the time of year when they're ready.
Is there any truth in the, you know, you need a good frost on the Brussels sprouts before you eat them?
I think there used to be. I think the modern varieties of sprouts that we've been growing for probably 15, 20 years now are much sweeter in flavour anyway, and so frost doesn't make any difference.
And are they good for you?
Oh yeah, very good for you. I mean, they're full of antioxidants and really high in vitamin C and folic acid. They're incredibly good for you.
And do you think there's any difference between them being on the stalk or not on the stalk?
They keep longer on the stalk. So if you buy them on the stalk, they'll keep for sort of 3 or 4 weeks in your garage. Whereas once they're taken off the stalk, they'll probably only keep for a week. Okay, here you go, Rachel, sprouts for Christmas.
Wow, they're fantastic. What is the percentage of sprouts sold at Christmas?
There's about 25% of all sprouts sold are sold in the sort of 2 weeks leading up to Christmas.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go back and cook these in my kitchen now.
Brilliant.
Thanks
Okay.
so much. Whether it's a small gift to take when you're visiting or even a main present, we've got such a variety of delicious food in Lincolnshire. So here are a few ideas we have. We've got eggils, preserves, jams, chutneys and marmalades. They also do pickles and curds. We're moving on to Jenny's Jams from Lincoln, really nice and local. My particular favourite is the cranberry, orange and brandy sauce, which will be fabulous with turkey. So moving on to chocolate, which is always really popular at Christmas. We've got Scholti's chocolates based in Brig, and actually Scholti means melting in Italian. We've got these fabulous bars of chocolate, things like strawberries and cream and raspberry pavlova, so great variety for everybody. And of course Spire's chocolates, which are handmade in Louth, and that lovely box, so pretty, 15 chocolates in there. And also for the children's stocking fillers, we've got Roly the polar bear, which are a great stocking filler. Moving on to the savoury section, cheese, a bit of a favourite of mine. We've got the Lincolnshire poacher smoked, we've got the vintage and we've got the traditional. And then we've got Coat Hill Yellow and Coat Hill Blue. The yellow particularly is a bit like mozzarella and is great for cooking with. And then of course it wouldn't be Christmas without plum bread. We've got the Pocklington's Bakery plum bread, and that was established in about 1924 by Cyril Pocklington. And then we've got Myers plum bread from Horncastle. 4 generations of bakers have been making plum bread. And we've got some lovely Scrubbies crisps. They're made by John and Claire Brumby in Grimsby. They're vegetable, and I particularly like the parsnip chilli and lime ones. So for ideas on creating your own Christmas hamper and to find out more about our recipes and local Lincolnshire food, just go to our website, lincolnshirekitchen.tv. I'll be back after the break to cook that delicious Christmas dinner, so see you soon.
Bringing local ingredients into the kitchen. Lincolnshire Co-op sponsors the Lincolnshire Kitchen.